told you, we'll be speaking to two gentlemen. And being a Friday, we are taking it a bit casual this afternoon. And we'll be shortly speaking to Tony Mochama. You also know him as Smita's Smitten. He's live with us in studio. We also have the man behind Smita who makes the magic work, and that is Lucas Wafula, Senior Publisher, East Africa Education Publishers. We'll be speaking to them shortly, but let me just quickly recap our Twitter poll question. Today we're asking you, are we doing enough to support the arts in Kenya? That is our Twitter poll question, and I'm already seeing quite a number of feedback coming through. We have at Ben Makopio is saying, please, it should be, is the government really incapable of paying doctors? Of course, that's just a random one. We also have Robert Kira saying Kekobo is trying its best on this. Other than that, there's Cleophas Otieno. No, we are not doing any good as a country because there are no persons to search for talents from grassroots level. Well, keep your tweets coming through. But let's now quickly dive into that interview. Thank you, gentlemen, for making time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Just to get straight into this conversation, let me start off with Tony Mochama, yes, aka Smita Smitten. Perhaps walk us through, you have been doing a lot of publishing and writing, of course. Do you feel there's enough support in the country in terms of people buying locally written books?
Thank you, Kina, and it's wonderful to be here. The answer to that must be a very big no, in the sense that we've got so many other competing things these days. You know, you'll find people even in buses and so on.
Yeah.
They're very fascinated, scrolling through on WhatsApp and conducting, these random conversations,
yeah,
or sharing jokes and funny videos. Yeah, but I must say that's sometimes not the best way, to develop a more sort of comprehensive worldview. Yeah, people should actually enjoy, if they enjoyed reading even from school levels, it would be much better for them. Yeah,
interesting.
Even mentally.
All right.
It's a good thing.
Lucas, I'll be bringing you in shortly to tell us about do you have a problem with the reading culture? But first, let's watch some interesting clip here where tourists continue to flock to the coastal region in search of a good time and relaxation. To tap these ever-diminishing numbers, resorts and hotels come up with various ways to outdo each other and thus attract more clients. One of the more exotic means employed to do this is a live band, as Tobias Chanji now reports from Kwale County.
It is dinner time at one of the hotels in South Coast. Tourists, most of them foreigners, select various food at a sumptuous buffet and settle down at their tables to eat. The lighting is dim and muted, but as they eat and make small talk, the sound of some sweet, relaxing music wafts in from the background. On hand, as an accompaniment to dinner, is Lenny's live band that is belting out different genres of music, both African and Western. While the guests are busy eating, this band is busy entertaining.
Now, I've had the privilege of performing in one of the best hotels, including Swahili Beach, Almanara, Leisure Lodge, Indian Ocean, you name it. I've gone as far as Nakuru, Nairobi, Naivasha, whatever in this business.
Apart from dinners in hotels, they also perform during luncheons, birthday parties and weddings. Their performance, however, comes at a cost. For example, to have them perform at a corporate event will see them charge around 150,000 shillings. For the more frequent dinners in five-star hotels, they charge about 25,000 shillings.
Normally, I do all international music, African, whatever. It depends actually on what the client wants. What I do is when I get a client who wants me to go perform for him, I always check the kind of client I have, which country is coming from or where she's coming from. Then I personally ask them what kind of music they would like.
Indeed, guests are all smiles as they give their divergent views concerning this extra entertainment that hotels employ to woo them back time and again.
The entertainment and the dinner and everything here is amazing. It's really enjoyable to listen to the music while sitting here eating. It's very nice.
The music here is kind of amazing because it's different. It's African and it's an African hotel, so that's perfect. And I like that one. It's very good. Okay?
Eda Criston is from Switzerland and is visiting her sister in Kenya. She says she has enjoyed herself so much that will extend her stay in Kenya by a week.
The music is very beautiful. They are singing like angels, and I really love it.
Tourists the world over love music, a fact that is apparent here, as even the local tourists demand some familiar tunes that they can shake a leg or even sing along.
So currently I'm enjoying this Kikuyu song, and I would wish they play more vernacular music going forward.
As Bob Marley once said, the goodness of music is that when it hits, you feel no pain. There's no pain being felt here, but rather gain on your holiday. Tobias Chanji, KTN Business, Kwale County.
Well, as you can see there, people merrymaking in Mombasa, artists earning a decent living. Perhaps can the same be said of authors, Lucas?
First of all, thank you, Abby, for having me. I think if you ask Tony, we've made something for him. But I wouldn't say that authors are making the kind of money that they're supposed to be making. They could make more.
Why isn't it the case then?
Well, in 2013, there was the introduction of the 16% VAT on paper.
On paper, yeah.
And that affected the sale of books because the prices of books went up by around 40%. And so somebody would ask, am I supposed to buy a meal or buy a book?
But still, you can see people are having fun with music.
Yeah, and that
is it a question
to be.
also of perhaps, Smita,
Yes.
are we having compelling writing that can drive demand in the local market? Because are we seeing more foreign writers making it in our country, or it's vice versa?
Well, of course, the Grishams of this world will always, it's just America first, and there's that extension. But Abby, I can't see, if you read my book, let me do some very quick plugging, like Run, Cheche, Run. Even if I'm the writer, I must say, I think it's a very compelling book, and my publisher will agree. See, Cindy, as you can say, no.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but
so where can we do things differently so that we can stimulate more people to consider buying locally written books?
I think first, even the curriculum, there's something very dangerous happening. Every time, like, you find school texts, there's a school text I read, like that one, it's called The Pearl. I read it sometime in the 90s.
Yeah.
You find these books just keep coming back into the system. And yet we are writing very contemporary things, like this one is 2017.
Oh, right.
It's got like those problems of general election, school fires. Kids need to relate to that. They need to have like compelling stories, Abby, which they
can relate to.
But if we keep, you find a book written before I was born, it's a good book, let's say, like Betrayal in the City.
Oh, yeah.
And decades pass and kids get more and more disconnected. That's why they can't wait to jump back to their telephones.
I want to challenge you a bit, Smita. Yes. How is it that the Nigerian authors have been able to crack the market? Perhaps before you jump in, you can have Lucas.
Yeah, one of the things that President Goodluck did was to come out strongly and talk about the reading culture. Actually, he invited Wole Soyinka to join him so that they could read from their books. He's published, and Wole Soyinka, of course, is a
big name in the literary circles.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think there's more to it. Kenyan authors are working hard. They're producing very, very good books. And Tony, of course, I'm not saying this because I publish him or I publish Dodwa Gishuru.
I'm also one of them, down the road.
I know. But
yes.
The idea is, I think the government can do more to support writers in Kenya.
Yeah.
I just talked about the 16% VAT that is levied on paper.
Do you think this should be scrapped?
Well, I think the government should reconsider this VAT on books. But at the same time, our leaders should also come out and talk about writing, talk about reading. kids usually look at what we do and they replicate the same. And so if your child is just seeing you, either watching a series or a movie or, you're always on your phone, and that is what they're going to do.
That's true.
But I watch my father reading, and that's why I read. That's why I'm interested in publishing. And so there's so much that can be done by the leaders, by ourselves as a people.
All right.
And we should consume more of our books. We shouldn't just think that...
And I even want to jump in and say, there are things like National Arts Council.
Yeah.
I've seen this in other countries. You go to Canada. You find somebody's just, gets a grant. Yeah, maybe I want to write a story about, say, Somalia, what happened in Elade, and you want to hang around there. So you get a grant, and you go there for 2 months so that even that authenticity is there. But we don't even have here a National Arts Council. Our minister has been doing a fantastic job, Professor Matiang'i. But I was very sad. Matiang'i has made us very happy this year, except for one thing which he said the other day. He said that now they want to remove more money from things to do with arts and take it, the technical...
TVETs, technical and vocational.
TVETs, and so on. That's the wrong country rivet. And this is something, in our deputy president, he has always had a long-running, almost a war with the arts. The deputy president is always saying, why don't we have more agricultural courses, the sciences? But if we don't tell our stories, I have a book called The Road to Eldoret, which I wrote 10 years ago, and those things were happening. And I'm sure it makes for a bit of compelling reading. Yeah, even today.
Totally understand.
We have to know our history, our stories.
All right.
But this thing that we will just be watu wa mkono and do plumbing, we need mental plumbing.
All right. Very passionate appeal there. Yes. Thank you very much, Tony Mochama, Lucas Wafula, Senior Publisher, East Africa Educational Publishers. Of course, gentlemen, this topic is quite extensive. We can't exhaust it in one sit down. And we'll be definitely making time to bring you over sometime next week. Well, that's how we have to wrap it up here on KTN Business today. It has been a pleasure. And many thanks for your company. Coming up next is Worldview. My name is Abi Agina. Do have yourselves a lovely weekend.